Hello, I'm Fern, and today we'll be doing Advent of Code. I couldn't sleep last night, so I've been up since probably like 2:12 a.m. at least, and I've been meaning to do some sort of like content, I guess, and so recently I've been trying to do some more C++ personal projects, and so I think what I'll try to do now is maybe do a Advent of Code, like Advent of Code every day, basically. So yeah, we'll go straight into it. If you don't know what Advent of Code is, it's basically like one of those Christmas advent calendar type things where instead of opening up like sort of a gift every day or something else, you sort of get a like programming style question. And so let's get right into it. So I'm on adventofcode.com. I'll go one, read this a bit, chief historian, North Pole. So this is just the background. You get 50 stars. There's two puzzles. If you finish the first one, there's a second one. Uh, so straight into the question. You haven't even left yet. The group of elvish senior historians has already hit a problem. Their list of locations to check is currently empty. Upon pouring into office, everyone confirms the chief historian is indeed nowhere to be found. Said the elves discovered assortment of notes and lists of historically significant locations seem to be planted throughout the story. Are listed not by name but by a unique number called the location ID to make sure they don't miss anything. The story is split in two groups, each searching the office, create their own complete list. So you have two different lists. They're just numbers are off by a small amount to pair up. Numbers measure how far apart. Pair up the smallest number and the smallest number in the right list, and the second smallest and the second smallest. Okay. Within each pair, figure out how far apart the two numbers are. You'll need to add up all of those distances. For example, if you pair three from the left list. Okay. Smallest number left list is one. Distance between them is two. Two. So it's just distance. I'm assuming that's absolute value. Add up the distances and all the pairs. Okay, so let's log in with GitHub. Authorize puzzle input. Probably just curl this into. So let's open this up. CD documents projects. Git init AOC24. Uh, CD AOC24. And then let me double check that it's recording fine. Yeah, sick. Okay. Uh, and then afterwards, what? Uh, mkdir one, day one, cd day one. Can I just w get this? Curl and then input, find input. Oh my god. I will just save this then. Save as input to projects. C day one, save. Okay, so we have input, rm input, I input.txt. Okay, good. Uh, what's the line? Line dash L. I want to figure out how many lines are in the line. Linux. Line line number 5 Linux. Oh, it's WC. I don't remember. WC dash L input. 1,000 inputs. Okay, sick. So let's just do main.cpp. Void main. I don't really care. I forgot you can't do int main. So then what we'll do is uh, so right now I guess my current thought process is to what? Sort the lists, then go through the list one by one and then compare, basically. Hashtag, and I'm going to include array. I think I'll need C standard int. Then maybe IO stream. So first up, we will have uh, stood array of what? Int. Are these non-negative? They look non-negative. I'll just assume they're non-negative. And then what? Static const input line count equals 1000. Oh, yeah. Oops. I wonder if I should just make that const expr. Int comma input line count left array right array. Iterate over file. Lines in file? C++? I don't think I've ever done that. Stream. Stream, okay. Hashtag include fstream. So first, where is it? You have fstream. Object, internal stream buffer. Off stream is out, so I'm assuming we need an if stream. So if stood if stream input.txt, and then what? What does this say? Can I not for I is less than input line count plus I. And this would be if stream, or this would be input left array of I, right array of I. This should work, right? And then afterwards, stood sort. Can I just call stood sort on this? Sort left array dot begin, left array dot end, and then fl delete till a right, fl delete till a right, and then what? There's zip, zip C++. Oh, they have stood ranges zip. Puggers. Well, we don't need to do that. I think we can just do int I0 plus an input line count plus I. And then this is just, let me check the problem again. What is the total distance between your lists? Okay, and then so now into result, let's just call it distance is equal to 0. Distance plus equals the stood abs of left array of I minus right array of I. That should get us the distance, and then stood C out distance. Return 0. Day1 ls g plus main.cpp. What did I mess up? Oh, my shit's fucked. What compiler should I use? GCC? Hey, I've had this issue before and my shit's just fucked. Hmm. Do I just need to open? Oh, this looks a lot better. Undefined symbol. Oh, let's just copy from. Let's just copy from crate. And then source and copy this. So what I did is I just made a cmakes list and then copied my settings from where it's cmake-b mkdir build. Make a build directory cmake-b build-source dot. Nice. cmake-build. Nice. And then inside build main. Oh, it's just called AOC, I forgot. Sick. Let's see if this works. Submit. Bloggers. Okay. Get you to part 2. The two lists are very different. Also, by adding up the number in the left list after multiplying it by the number of times it appears in the right list. First number left list is calculate totals by adding up each number in the left list after multiplying it. So the first number is 3, it appears in the right list 3 times. Second list is 4, appears in the right list. So for the example of slowness store, okay, interesting. So the right determines the frequency, and then you're just using the left list for it. Okay, uh, let's just copy the file cp main.cpp to let's just call it mv part1.cpp or mv main.cpp to part1.cpp and then cp part1.cpp to part2.cpp and then update then close this out, close this out, part1.cpp, part2.cpp, and then open part2, and then now, okay, so now I will just use an unordered map, and then now when I first iterate, what I'll do is I'll iterate over the second one first, and then the ordered map of an int to an int right array frequency. And then now when I go into write, what is this? This is, this should just be right array frequency of right array of I, and then I just increment it. And then copy this, take the result plus equals, so I will just take left array of I times right array frequency of left array of I. And the nice thing is it will default initialize stuff to 0 if it's not there. And then stud C out result cmake dash b build dash s dot cmake dash build. What is it? What am I missing? Duplicate symbols? I see. This should just be I've never had to actually do this, so add another executable to project C++ cmake. Add executable test name. Oh, can I just call this like part1? F1 R2 F1 R2. how this works. Oh, sick. Okay, and then this should just be dash dash build slash part two. Not fully convinced. Oh, sick. I completed day one. Poggers. Cool. Okay, so overview. We just iterated through, put them inside an array, sorted them so that it would be sorted by lowest to highest or highest to lowest. The problem doesn't it doesn't actually matter that much for either or. And then we're just going to take the absolute value and then print it out. Then for the second one, we kind of do the same thing except we create this sort of frequency map using the right array and then add that to the result. I think the really cool part about this is like sort of this line. I typically hate using the bracket style operator because you can get some bugs with unordered map or regular map. Basically, if the item doesn't exist inside the map, it will actually just create it with the default value and for an int that's zero. But in this case, this is actually quite useful for us. Uh, Whereas like in other languages like Python, like if you called right array frequency of like some number zero just to check to see if it exists, it will actually add that value in, which is like, or it doesn't add that value in Python, but in C++ it will. And so, yeah, I will be uploading this to, I guess, YouTube and then GitHub. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for stopping by.